I'm pretty sure I've met everybody on this call. I don't think I know Brittany or Jenna, but everybody else I've met. So my name's Ashley. Annie just recognized me, but I'm 24. I started Beachbody 15 months ago. So this, I was all in from day one because I hated my teaching job and I'm a control freak and I wanted to be in control. So basically, the main part of my Beachbody journey came from my health and fitness. And that's how, if you guys know Shauna Valenta, actually her little sister, I grew up with. And I saw a post on Instagram and it just told me, it just said I'm now hiring. And I just needed to lose like 30 pounds. And that was like my calling. So I sent her a message and I said, what do I need to do? 21-day fix. I ended up dropping 30 pounds. I'm very healthy and I turned from teacher to I just quit my job in June. So that's a little bit of backstory about me.
Can you hear a little bit about how your coach, am I echoing? How your coach wasn't as active? Like your coach actually is no longer your coach. Mm-hmm. You quit.
Yeah. So like I said, when I first started, I signed up right away to become a coach. And for the first month, I just focused on me. And my coach was really active with me for my first month. Her name's Caitlin, Sean's little sister. And we were doing great. We got along really awesome. And then about the second and third month, I started to dive into Beachbody. And she kind of fell off. And I didn't really have a mentor. And it was hard. But I'm really, really motivated by recognition. So as soon as I hit Emerald and I hit the leaderboard and Pat was, I was in love with Pat. So whenever he would like recognize me, I'd be like, oh my God, I got to do it again next month. So it was like, that was like really motivating for me. But
motivation.
But yeah, so she fell off. So I was really struggling to find out like why, and she wasn't answering a lot of my text message or anything. So Michelle, reached out to me because it was kind of the same, Shauna was going in and out of the business because of other issues, but Michelle really reached out to me and helped me. Annie really helped me. So I feel like all the time I think about, like, of course I have coaches who fall off all the time and then come back and fall off. And I have to be that person. I know I'm not going anywhere ever. So I feel like I sometimes have to be that pegboard for all of the rest of my coaches. And sometimes I have to reach down to like my grandchildren and, train them because my coaches aren't going to do anything. I call my grandchildren like sometimes even my great grandchildren, and help them because maybe this month isn't a great month for my personally sponsored coach and it sucks. But that's the best thing I can do. I'd rather me grab them than they fall off. So that's really what Michelle did to me. I actually have no like correspondence to Michelle at all in my downline, right, Annie?
Yeah, she's Shauna's personally sponsored coach.
Oh, so I do. Yeah, so I am. Okay.
But like Alyssa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But and then actually my biggest aha was Beth Reelman asked me to get on a call and she like showed me the ropes of everything because my coach didn't train me at all. Like I put my boyfriend on my strong leg. He's still on my strong leg. I was too nervous to reach out to anybody higher up and it sucked, but I'm not going to beat myself up for it just because, I didn't reach out to my upline. So did you want me to share anything else? Is that okay?
No, that was good. Okay. I just like how you like it's more of like instead of personally sponsored, like you do your, like how my mom's like, you have to reach down to people.
Yeah.
Because not every month, like your coach is going to have that success. Mm-hmm. So like if you're reaching down to their coaches, just keeping people connected.
Right. Your team is your team.
Right.
All right. So my first year as a coach, actually my first 14 months as a coach, I was a full-time first grade, first year teacher. So I was my very first year as a teacher. I jumped into the coaching opportunity. I was going to grad school full-time to be a reading specialist. And I was teaching full-time, obviously. And then I started Beachbody and I was focusing on myself. Whenever somebody tells me I don't have time, I'm just like, you don't have time to focus on you. Like this business, if you get down to the core of it, it's a people business. If you're focusing on yourself and you're reading personal development and you're like strong enough to help other people, this business is so simple. Like the last 3 months have helped me realize this business is so simple. You just have to show up every single day and put your heart into it. And that's really where my mindset comes from. When I was working full-time, going to school full-time, and working Beachbody 3 hours a day, it was my mindset. It was my personal development telling me that I can quit my job one day. It was my, the people's lives who I was changing, helping me realize that I'm making a difference. And it kind of was just a wake-up call. Like, it was like my calling. I wanted to be a teacher since I was in kindergarten. And then I got to be a teacher, and this opportunity fell in my lap, and it was even better. And I feel like I saw what Lindsay Matway was doing, and Amy Reilman has always been a huge inspiration to me. And I saw what she was doing because her and I are the same age. And I was like, why can't I? And I would come home every single day and put forth the work, because every single day is going to get you even an hour every single day. I use this short to-do list and do it every single day, even on the days that you suck, just do it. So it's just your why. Like for me, it was to quit my teaching job. Now it's for other reasons, but you just have to hold on to that why. And then inspiration versus envy. Inspire to be like others. Inspire to have success of others, but don't ever envy somebody else. I caught myself, I didn't read personal development for like the first 6 months of my business, and I caught myself being so envious of other people. I would like, instead of working, I would sit here and like search top coaches thinking I was learning, but really all I was doing was growing jealousy, wishing that I was like them, not putting forth any effort to be like them. So I was just becoming so envious. And then I started reading personal development and realized that I had to put the effort forward in order to reach my success. And then that turned more like to inspiration. So when I needed some inspiration to be the best me I could be, I would turn to them and, see how they're working their businesses and see how, they're running their posts and their social media. So that was a big shift for me. Okay. Goal setting. I just finished reading No Excuses by Brian Tracy, and it was amazing. He just talks about, and actually today I started the 10-10s rule, so this is where this is going to come from. I'm huge into personal development. I would say if you're not reading it, read it. But goal setting, set your goals high. And I know a lot of people say, why would I set my goals high? Because if I don't come close, I'm going to beat myself up. But would you rather fall short of $1,000 or would you rather fall short of $1 million? Either way, maybe you're going to fall short, but if you set them high, you're going to aim high. And like for me, I have this little note card right here sitting on my computer, and it has 18 of my goals. And they're in the form of answers. So it says, I will work for 8 hours a day. I will work out daily. I will read personal development. So it's just, you just have to set them high. And if you don't reach them, don't beat yourself up. But you know that if you set them up here and you make it to here, that's awesome, versus if you set it down here and you made it only to there. So just set them high and create short-term goals to get you there. So I'm going to create a 6-figure income by September isn't enough. How are you going to measure that? Are you going to be making $500 a week by Thanksgiving? Are you going to show up every day to your business? Are you going to hit Success Club 20 every month? So just setting those short-term goals just to kind of get you to that longer-term goal, and then work toward them daily. Okay. So how I hit Success Club every month. I actually didn't hit Success Club in November of 2015, and that was my only month I've never hit Success Club. And every other month I've only hit it by like 6 or 7 points. And what I realized I wasn't doing is I was just thinking it as the beginning of the month and the end of the month. I would go all in at the end of the month because it was the ending point. If I got to like the 20th and I didn't have any Success Club points, that week was hell for me. I was coming home working like 5 hours a night until I got them done. And I was like, why the heck am I running my business like this? Especially when I was seeing like Caroline and Amy hitting like 30 Success Club points. I actually asked Caroline, I said, how in the world do you do that? She's like, they're all follow-ups. And what I realized is that you just never can stop. Just don't stop doing your daily tasks. So when it's the 20th of the month and you haven't hit Success Club, live every week like that last week. If you can do it in that 1 week, you can do it in 52 weeks out of the year. And I stopped waking up and saying, okay, it's the first of the month, I need to hit Success Club. I look at it as a year. I just never stop aiming to change lives. So I do my vitals every day. I do my to-do list every day. And now on average, I sell about a challenge pack a week, and I have a challenge pack a day. And that's just from people I've been helping all year long.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
My question is that, so when you were not doing this full time, when you were doing this while you were in school and you were working, like how many would you say, like invites and friend requests and stuff, would you say? I just like to know the numbers. Would you say that you were doing a day?
I never, ever, ever used to send invites. I was so bad. I would get most of my attention from my posts and my journey, my transformation, and I would send like invites
like,
here,
commenting on it, and then you were reaching out to them initially.
I was really bad about invites. Not that I was nervous about them, because I just wasn't nervous about their reaction. I think I was just like so lazy. I don't even know. But starting about probably February is when I really dove into invites. And I don't send a ton of invites. I send about 15 invites a day. And I can pull this up for you guys. This is what I do. I add 30 people every single day on Facebook. I don't really use Instagram that much anymore. I use Instagram more for like attention of followers, and then I get them over to Facebook, but I don't 531 anymore. But so I get people on Facebook, I add them on Facebook, and then when they accept my message, I'll just send them like a hey girl message. I won't ask them a question though. I'll just say, hey Ashley, I gotta think of one. I'm so terrible. I'm so tired right now. Like, hey, Ashley, thanks for adding me. I love meeting new people. You seem really awesome. Hope you have a fantastic Monday. And they always respond back, thank you so much, girl. That was such a sweet message. And then I'll take their name. So if you have a message open, I can copy their name. Hang on. I'll copy their name and I'll put it into, of course, I don't have it open for you guys. Hold on, I want to show you though.
So did you find that not asking a question first is more?
Then they go to your profile, but I always go to their profile and like and comment on one picture though.
Okay.
So if I go to my business tracking, when I send that message, I'll put their name here. Like so I copied it on Facebook and I can paste it. And then I'll write my follow-up date, which is always a week after.
See, I think this is so key for making Success Club is the follow-ups. Like this, and I'll be the first to admit I am brutal with tracking, and I think it has a lot to come down with this tracking, because
I've never tracked.
You lose people, and if you at least have this list when you sit down, you have something to work off of. And just in September, I sat down and I have probably like exactly the same amount as you. I never did that before. And I think my sister was just saying that I think this is huge, the tracking. You have to find your own system, but if you can do it this way.
Yeah. This is the only thing that's ever worked for me. I've tried everything. I've tried pen and paper, and this is the only thing that's ever really like done well for me. So I'll paste them in here, and then on that date, so these are people who didn't answer. So I only put them on here if they did respond to my form. So quite a few people answer. And then this is my follow-up date that I have to go follow up with them. And then if I go back to my funnel, once I send that message, I put them here if they answer. And then on that follow-up date, I'll ask them to join my free group. So me and my team, we run a Fit Foodies group. And it's just a group where we like share like recipes and stuff. It's my entire team. So I just asked them, hey girl, would you be interested in joining a free ongoing group on Facebook where we share fun recipes and fitness tips? more than likely if they say yes or they ignore me. If they say yes, I copy and paste their name over from here and I put them onto here. Then the next day I'll follow them up to go to my challenge pack. If they say yes, I'll put them here.
Okay. Nice funnel.
And then if you did have like when your challenge group sneak peek groups, you would invite them there first.
I just don't have one going on right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I don't usually use the funnel to add them to my sneak peek group. Usually that's for people who said no. So that's going back into my inbox and telling them about my sneak peek group, and then I'll put them in there. I'm not very organized with my business. I will tell you that much. This is probably the most organized I've been because I do it full time now.
Are you having them make the like free Beachbody account when you put them in the free group, or you're not? No.
No, I don't. Mm-mm.
But you're not just adding them and like forget, like you actually have them on a list. So you know who you're messaging when. Yeah.
All right.
Do you wait like a week from when you first like just shoot them a message?
Yeah, usually about 7 or 8 days. Mm-hmm. And by that point, a lot of them have already seen my post and like or comment on my post. And something on my to-do list is to message everybody who liked or commented on my post. So when I go back up in to follow up with them, I've already started a relationship with them, which is cool. And they've already, come to realize, be interested in my journey. So it's nice. And that's where the 4 vitals come into play. I tell my coaches all the time, you can't do one vital and not think you're doing enough. You've got to do them all. If I have somebody following me on social media and I'm killing it with my posts every day, but I'm not inviting, I'm going to miss out on so many of those people who see me but are too intimidated to actually reach out to me. So being proof of the product, reading a personal development so that you have clarity when you're sending your invites, and recognizing people on your team and your challenge groups, even the human beings that you see bought a house, I don't know, just recognizing inviting is huge.
Ashley, can you say that one more time? So you just send like a very general, like, thanks for adding me.
Mm-hmm. Just like, hey girl, thanks so much for adding me. You seem really awesome and I love meeting new people. Hope you have a great day.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they answer you, then you invite them to the free group.
Nope. If they answer me, I put them on my list.
Put them on their list.
Under a form, and then I put a follow-up date, and then it's usually 7 days later, and then the 7 days later I say, hey girl, I know this is super random, but I wanted to see if you'd be interested in joining my ongoing free group on Facebook where we share fitness and foodie tips.
And what if they don't answer?
Then I just leave them on my follow-up list and I go back another week later.
Yeah, and I think that's so important what you said, like you're reaching out to these people that like your posts, or you're following up with these people, because just like sometimes we have anxiety about reaching out to somebody, you have to think about how many people are looking at your posts and they're too afraid to reach out to you.
It's crazy how many people I get say, oh my God, I've been meaning to reach out to you. Or, oh my God, like almost like treat you like a celebrity, to be honest. Like I can't believe you're reaching out to me, just because I've been consistent for 14 months and they've been probably nervous after seeing my Instagram. I need to organize my Instagram because I know there's a lot of people on there who I'm not. But a huge revolution for me has been actually going on my Instagram and everybody who likes photos on there, going through and DMing them. I know Gary Vee says like that's super personal, but it's been working awesome. So they go back and they go through my profile and they see me and we build a relationship, and most of the time they answer on there, and then I usually just get their number and we text.
Right.
I signed my last 3 coaches up from Instagram that way.
So you're sending them a personal message?
Yep, after they like my photo.
There's so many people that are so afraid to message you. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of have that anxiety, like, I don't want to message this person, but they have that same feeling. Like, mm-hmm. I want to message. I was in a wedding. I was a bridesmaid, and the bridesmaid in front of me has been friends with me on Facebook for a while. She was like, you have no idea how long I've like wanted to like message you, but I'm like super shy. But this is after she had like several drinks. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I never knew that you like wanted to do that, like be in one of our groups. Like, you know, you could totally do it. And so I think that's so important, like us reaching out to people, because sometimes people are just super shy. And so kind of have to, huge.
Yeah. If you're not messaging people who like your photos, definitely do it. And also start following more people on Instagram. I don't use Instagram, but I follow 100 new people every day, 100 like women that I could see in my tribe. And a lot of them go back to my profile and look through, and some of them even message me first. But it's just a new way to get more likes, more engagements. It's just do the little things you don't think about, like while you're in bed before you go to bed. It takes me 5 minutes to add 100 people on Instagram. I just go to like a girl that I know, and I go through all of the people who follow her, and I'll say follow. And I know that if they follow her and they're interested in her, then they're probably gonna be interested in me. So it's a great way to like find your niche there.
I have one other question about, I'm all hung up on follow-ups right now. So you put them on the week, they don't respond, say they don't respond, so you follow up another week. Like, how many times do you follow up without them responding before you're like, back off?
Oh, I'm freaking annoying, probably.
Like, how annoying?
Like, never ending. Unless they like
follow up with somebody 20 times with no response.
Oh yeah. And some people come to me after 20 times.
What do you say? Just like, hey, just wanted to check in. How's your week going? Like, happy Monday.
If I know like the last message they sent was like, I'll never be interested in this, I won't. But yeah, something new every time. So actually, this might benefit you well. This is what I do. I go to do you have Messenger on your phone?
Yeah.
If you go to the Messenger app on your phone, you actually have a alphabetical, if you go to people, you have an alphabetical order list on your phone. And I choose a different letter every day to go through, and I go through every single message.
How do you go to alphabetical?
Go to people.
Yeah.
And then it's just scroll down until you get to A, click A. If you don't have it, then you need to, you just need to do the upgrade. Oh, you see it?
Yeah.
And then I choose, so today, so I go through A through Z. So today I started back over again. So now I just started on A, and I clicked every single discussion I was in and just looked through it and saw where we were, and then responded with a follow-up or a new invite. And then I do that with everybody. And then tomorrow I'll do B, and then Wednesday I'll do C. And it's just a way for me to be very on top of my inbox instead of going all the way down to my old inbox messages.
Cool. Thank you. I didn't know you could do the alphabetical there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's you know how we did the 20 and 30 and we printed out our entire list of people? I found it that way, and it's been extremely beneficial for me because I've missed out on so many people. Like people who I added back in like July of 2015 and I never sent a message to, and they just fell all the way down to the bottom of my friends list. I found them doing this, so it's cool.
Yeah, that is super cool. Thanks. All right.
And you just send them the same type of message, Ashley?
Yeah. So depending on where a conversation left off, or if we never had a conversation, but they've been friends with me for a while, I'll just say, hey girl, I don't know if you've seen any of my recent posts, but I'm starting a 3-week healthy challenge with a bunch of women to get in tune with our goals. Would you have any interest in being in the group or something like that?
Oh, you just dive right back in.
It's such an easy way to invite, because sometimes I struggle with who to invite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I need a list I can just work from.
Yeah, I think that sounds very helpful.
Yeah. It's cool because if you have you have 3,000 friends, you said, so you have a lot of friends. So if you go all through A, there's 50 people right there. That's 50 invites, but you're going quick because you're not typing in names and you're not copying and pasting.
Right. I just pulled up Nancy from May 2014.
Yeah, right? Because she probably fell all the way down to the bottom. She probably fell all the way down to the bottom of your friends list, and she probably doesn't post often, so you haven't seen her.
Sometimes I go to new posts, and this is really helpful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, you hit people, and then what did you hit?
And then it should be right there. That should be your alphabetical order list. If you scroll down a little bit.
You gotta, take your finger.
Oh, I see it. Thank you.
Scroll down and hit where it says search. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm struggling with that.
Should I move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
There.
So this is kind of just what I was talking about, but how do I hit Success Club every month? I just stop thinking about monthly and just do daily. I just aim, set goals high for yourself, and I aim for one challenge pack or helping one person every single day. And I go into it with the mindset, I'm going to help one person today find a workout program that they want to start, or I'm going to help one person with this opportunity. And then that's just with building true relationships. You're not going to get there. You're not going to be able to sell a challenge pack every day, or you're not going to be able to help somebody every day if you're not building a foundation of a relationship with them. So even if, like, sometimes I'll jump right into Beachbody right away. Like, if they ask me, how did you find me? I'll straight up say, I'm in a multi-level marketing business, and I really strive to help women get that, or take that first step towards success, like I needed when I was like a struggling teacher trying to lose weight. I'll just be honest and tell them. They're like, oh, that's so awesome. Thanks for reaching out. I've actually never gotten a negative message when I've sent, like, so I know Leah and Brooke, you said you get nervous. And Brittany, you said you get nervous when you send invites. So instead of sending an invite at first, or, you know, when you send your hey girl message, just give them a compliment. And then that, like, sets the tone. So
yeah, I love that idea.
So when you do send an invite, it's not like, you know, later on, it's not like, you know, you just wanted something from me, or, you know,
everyone loves a compliment. Let's be real.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And it's so much easier when someone doesn't ask you a question. Because I know for me, if someone sends me like a question, I'm like, oh, I have to, you know.
Interrogation.
It's going to take more thought for me to type out a response versus just like a thank you, you know, responses of a thank you.
My hey girls, I do about 20 hey girls a day, and they used to take like 30 to 45 minutes, and now they take 10 minutes because I'm just going to their profile really quick, sending one compliment. Whereas I was like, all right, where did you go to college? What kind of dog do you have? And I'm like trying to do my research, you know? Like, it's much quicker. So yeah, and then don't get comfortable. When I hit Diamond, I was like, woo, so comfortable, but I'm not making any money. And I was just like, why? It's because I was so comfortable. I built a house of cards, and I just wasn't, I didn't continue growing my network, and I was so stagnant. I don't know if you guys know this, but I was so stagnant from July to December of last year. I was like hurting. Like, I wanted to be a top, like, I'm aiming for top coach. Like, I want to be top coach. And I knew what I was doing wasn't going to get me there. And it was because I was becoming way too comfortable being Diamond. I was obsessed with my rank, and that's where personal development came in. And just really thinking about what I can do today to get me one step further rather than what I already have that makes me awesome. So just don't ever get comfortable, and start at the beginning and end at the end. So don't just make the beginning of your month at the 20th and the end of your month at the 31st, because when the first comes around, you're going to die off, and your followers are going to go nowhere. And it's going to be so much harder to start back up on the 20th. Okay. And then how do I keep my coaches engaged? My success partner disagrees with this, and I understand we're different people. She says not to build relationships with your downline coaches too much. And I'm like best friends with all of my team, and we're complete strangers. But for me, like, I have a true tribe, like and so do you. Like, I'm getting on the call, and like, you guys are all so much alike, and like, not to diss anybody, but like, I feel like Annie's tribe is much different than my tribe even. And it's because you attract what you're like. And we're all just like so much alike. We all are like in the middle of like almost getting engaged, and you know, like I just like asking questions and being a part of their life, so that they don't feel like they can come to me and talk to me about that kind of stuff, or don't feel like they can come to me and talk to me about things they're struggling with in their businesses, things they're struggling with in their lives. So I love building relationships with my coaches, and I don't have any friends in Maryland. So like, my social hour is on social media talking to my team. Like, it's the best. And I've never, ever, ever had a support system like my girls. Like, I love leadership. Of course, I feel like I was like born for leadership, but the fact that like they love me for like, because we're all so much alike, it's really cool. So I just project leadership on them from the get-go. I think about where they would fit good, whether they would be awesome at helping one of my coaches run a challenge group, or whether they would be really great at, you know, the free group, or even doing an accountability post, just making them feel like they have to show up every day and hold themselves accountable.
I have one question. I don't know who your success partner is, but how come she doesn't think that you want to build relationships with?
So she was a Mary Kay girl before this. And she'll straight up tell you, it's Emily Krauscher. She's amazing. We work so well together. But she was a Mary Kay girl, and she got way too close to her coaches or to her whatever downline, and they got to a point in their business where they didn't want to talk business anymore with her, and they just felt like Mary Kay didn't matter to them. I guess it just was way too easy for them to fall off of the wagon if they were close, rather than having the tough love she has with her team now. It's much easier to be strict with them.
Yeah, she's also Amy's coach, and Amy's a tough love person. So
yeah,
maybe that's right.
Yeah.
She's my sister, and I'll be the first one to admit it.
Yeah. I wish I was a little bit more than I am, but I don't take well from tough love. So when I give it, I feel like I am a little, I don't know.
A mixture.
Yeah. I definitely have to ask my coaches how they react. Like, I have some really gentle souls on my team, and I'm just like, oh, should I send my message? I don't know. They didn't post today. Oh my God. But you just have to feel for them and ask them, when you fall off, because you're going to sometime in this business, how should I react?
Right.
But I say build a relationship further than that. I love my coaches. Like, they're my best friends. A lot of them are coming and staying with me in a couple weekends, and it's just fun.
How did you really find and connect with I'm sorry, I'm asking like a million questions, but how did you find and really connect with these people? Because I feel like I have a really, I know what I'm like, I know the things that I like, but I have a really, really hard time finding others that are like my tribe.
Right. So for me, my best coach I used to work with, she's older than I am. She's 32. She has 3 kids, but we just get along so well. I don't know, you guys might know her, Jen Dollinger. But she's amazing. And then some of my best coaches are ones that I adopted, ones that my personally sponsored coaches who I was friends with, they quit. And then I adopted their coaches who were really strangers to me, but now they're my best friends. Instagram has really helped me find awesome coaches. I have 4 coaches from Instagram, one from Ohio, one from Canada, one in Virginia. I just search things that I would search. I love peanut butter. I find a lot of people on that. Just silly things that I would literally tag myself, or I go into
sometimes if you find something that's funny, even though it's not related to anything, say it's a weird meme and it's something that hundreds of people have liked, do you go through those?
Yeah.
And look at those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I guess that's my question there. So then you friend those people or message them, but it's about something that's just funny. Are you you know what I mean? I guess, how do you do that connection? It's really easy for me to go into health and fitness groups or things like that and message people. I have no problem with that. But if I see a funny meme, I'm like, hey, you laughed too,
To be honest, Instagram isn't my best friend. I would say I personally don't usually sign coaches unless they've got a challenge pack. So I'll find people on Instagram and on Facebook through them being engaged in my content. I'm very active posting. I'm very consistent with my posting. So when they are continuously watching my journey, it's so easy to reach out to them because they already know who I am. So the best coaches, and it's hard. I on average, I signed about 10 coaches a month. So when I'm signing these coaches, only about 3 of them to 5 of them are really active in a challenge group, and I build really strong relationships with them. And then those are the girls who become my best friends because they just get it. They're just like me. And sometimes it'll be a fluke that somebody way out of my tribe will buy a challenge pack for me and be in my group, and she doesn't click with the vibes going on in my group. And then obviously she doesn't feel like coaching would be for her because her and I don't click or whatever. But I would say it all starts from the people you are getting to join your challenge groups, for me at least.
All right. So I need to just figure out my tribe a little bit more and invite from those places.
I have a list right here. It's just who am I list. And then I built hashtags from that.
Okay.
That I am.
Thank you.
Holding them accountable. I just do an accountability post every day. I know you guys do that too. Show them that you're human, you struggle. Share about your struggles. Share about your strengths. Celebrate your strengths. Fail forward. Show them how you overcame them. And talk about the future. Talk about how much you can't wait to have whatever your why is, or, you know, talk about it. Get them inspired to think about their own why, because it's so easy in this business to lose sight of it. And that's all I
I'll
have.
never forget Michelle's was like, she really wanted like huge fake boobs. And for like
That's mine.
a year straight, she'd be like, can't wait to get my big boobs. And I was like, oh.
That's funny.
That was awesome. I really, really liked, I've never seen that before, but I can so relate to when you said the inspiration versus envy. Because there was definitely like there is sometimes like when I back away from personal development, or I get frustrated, or I see like other people, like it's so easy to look at like Amy's like Success Club points or whatever, and instead of like looking at them as like an inspiration, you do get that envy, because you're thinking, oh, well, she doesn't have kids, or she doesn't have this, or I have to go to work, and you start to make a list of all the reasons why like they're
I did this today.
So I can totally relate to like what you're saying with that. Whereas like if you just sit down, you're like, okay, no, the fact is they're inviting way more. They're following up way more. They're doing their personal development. There's no different than like what anyone else is doing. They're just doing it more often than you are. So I thought that was cool. Does anyone have any other questions or anything that you took away from that?
Well, I mean, I took a lot away from that. I don't have any questions.
So when you first like left your job, how did you financially manage that? Because I know like as a teacher, I mean, I don't know what you were making, but I'm not making like incredible money right now, but I can't imagine being able to just like leave that, especially like my husband's a musician, so we use my benefits and things like that. So how did you like find it possible to be able to leave your job?
Yeah. So my hardest transition was because I was making my salary with teaching, and I was making, and I almost matched that my first year as a coach. So it was hard making 2 incomes and then going down to 1. My cool thing was that I got paid all summer long. So I quit in June, and then I got paid until the last week of August. So I was getting those big lump sums of pay. But it was just, I mean, I'm only 24, so I'm still on my parents for benefits until I'm 26. But
Amy.
yeah, me and her were talking about that. But it was just like, it's either this and make it happen. Like I have a mortgage, I have a car payment, I pay for everything except for my insurance. And it was either this and make it happen and dive into my savings, put my back up against the wall and make this it, and double my income, or go back to teaching and just stay stagnant and rely on that. Because I know the way my brain works. I rely on things that I know are there. And I would have relied on my teaching income, just like I did all summer long. For June and July, I was so comfortable because my teaching income was still there. And then August hit, and I'm like, fuck, my income is leaving. I'm going to just have this one income, and my backup is against the wall. And I think me and my boyfriend just sat down one day, and I just said, what do I do? And we met with he met with his accountant, and he told him about it. And he was just like, tell her to go with the business. Tell her to go with the business. If I was to tell anybody to stay with comfortability or go for something they can double and triple in 1 year, do it. Go all in. And we just have to, I mean, he makes really good money. So that's another thing. But I pay for everything on my own. But it was a financial backing because he makes good money.
Yeah. I think I had this conversation with Brooke because she asked me, like, when I first left my full-time job, I wasn't like making what I made with like before. But it was more of like one of those things where it was like, I knew that if I wanted to get to where I was like, okay, I was making like $300 a week. I wasn't making what I was. But it was like that back against the wall sort of thing. So
that's kind of like where I'm at now.
Right.
I don't know, like I didn't replace my income. I'm just taking a year off because I had a baby and I hate my teaching job too.
I guess
So like right
And that's
now,
like when,
like,
and when Pat left his job in 2013, like he's literally making 10 times what he made when he left. Most people don't know this, but he left and was like living in my parents' like basement. And then he all of a sudden like, cause this business, you can triple you can double, you can triple. There's no other like business where you can actually do that, you know? So it is kind of like that backup, like your back's up against the wall sort of thing.
Bill Gates said if he could redo his life over again, he would get into multi-level marketing because that's where it's at. Where it's at.
Yeah, I'm totally the breadwinner, so I find it like fucking hard.
Yeah. Well, it makes you push harder for this business. You want to retire, right? You want to be done with your teaching job?
Fuck yeah, they gave me
Make this your last year. Get into that mindset of just
match your income, but only live off of one of them, so you don't get used to living off.
You should put your Beachbody income away now, so that when you do quit, you can live off of that. And then that's what I did for a long time. I put my entire Beachbody income
When
away.
I left my job, I was actually making more than my husband, and I had a car, and I had our insurance. So could you imagine him like, he was like, "Are you fucking nuts?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess so." But it kind of was like, I just believed so much in it.
Mm-hmm.
And partly because I saw other people like accomplish it that, you know, it was like you said, I took like 3 steps backwards, but I knew I would like get, you know, where I needed to be, but
Trust the process.
yeah. But you can manage it. Like you can, you know, I set up like an Excel spreadsheet. Like I sort of like knew what I wanted to come in. And that's another huge reason that a lot of people, my main focus was always volume. Like it always has been volume, because that's kind of like, that's where the income is, you know. That's why you have to reach down into your downline. It's not just your personally sponsored, it's your coaches and building a team. And that's why it's like so important to focus on, you know, your coaches that are Emerald. Like, are you reaching out to their coaches? Because Ashley is on my team, but she's like 3 levels down, you know. But I remember like seeing her and being like, okay, I gotta like reach out to this girl because she wants to do this, you know. So. And
also I remember like Annie, when you used to reach out to, I don't mean like you don't do it anymore. I just mean that when I was getting, you know, coaches that were, you know, reaching Emerald or newer coaches, when you reached out to them, they were like, oh my God, to me. They were like, holy shit, she's like a superstar and she wants to have a call with me. I'm nervous. What do I say? I'm like, whatever the fuck you want. I don't know. Like for them, it's like super exciting. I think that somebody who's of this, like, you know, this status, you know, of, I know you think of yourself as like, you know, regular mom doing this or that, but like, you know, you've taught us all a lot of stuff. And so I think for somebody new coming into it to hear from someone in their upline, I think makes them feel like important, excited.
Right. Yeah. And if you guys do get, I know sometimes it's like you focus on that you're a diamond, you're an emerald, but like you have go into your, like some of you have been coaches for a while. So if you go into your online office and you actually go into one of your legs, you know, or you look at the volume that you have, or you even look at the carryover volume that you have. I mean, that's huge. Like you actually, some of you have like 300 coaches in your downline because you've been coaches for a long time. Those are people in your downline. You might even have like emeralds and diamonds. Like those are the people that you should be reaching out to and making relationships with, you know? So that's kind of how I always looked at the business is you can find 5 gold ships, but they don't have to be your personally sponsored, you know? It's like Michelle, you know, there's one coach in between us.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
Yeah. You guys have any other questions I'm definitely using that list thing. That's like huge.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, Ashley, do you have that on your to-do list?
I put it in with my invites.
Okay.
Or sorry, in with my follow-ups. That's actually how I send my follow-ups usually. So I go off of my list of people that I have to go for that day, and then I go in and do 1 letter a day. And I just do it on my couch. Like I have strict business hours, and then I'll like lay on my couch and do it.
So you must have a lot of follow-ups between like your Hey Girl messages and like your invite follow-ups and your like alphabetical.
Yeah.
message.
And then like randomly, if I'm like looking at the screen saying like, what the heck can I do right now? Like I've got all my tasks done, but I still have 2 hours left of work today. I'll go into the right side of I work on my computer. I'll go on the right side of my computer with just people who are like online, and I'll just go through and like see where we left off, and then just have conversations with them because I know they're on, so we can like engage.
So you're just like, just chatting.
Yeah, just random.
I know you're at work, not doing anything.
Yeah.
Until when? Until there's a good.
Until they say no or they buy something.
No, but I mean, you're chatting, and then you're going to invite them eventually in that conversation, probably.
Chances are I probably already invited them.
All right.
Yeah. I've invited every single person on my.
But when you message them, you're just talking about anything for the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll visit their profile and see that they just bought a cat or something.
I like that. You invite them, like they know the invitation's there, and then you just kind of build off of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're just waiting for them to be like, actually, now I'm ready.
Yeah.
Or do you invite them again eventually?
Yeah, I do. I just like never really stop following up with people, to be honest.
You do you tell them like when your next challenge group is like, hey, I have another challenge group starting.
Yeah. I'll say, I don't know if you saw my last post.
I don't know if you saw my last 15 messages.
or my 15 messages. I am starting
I'm at your door.
I'm actually waiting out front for you.
I think maybe that was part of my downfall, is that I, like, after someone ignores me 3 times, I leave them alone.
But what if somebody says yes after their 15th time?
Well, that's what I'm saying, is I think I have people from almost 2 years ago that I should start messaging.
You get blocked a lot, Ashley?
What'd you say?
Do you get blocked?
Never. I honestly never have. Yeah. If people don't want to talk to me, they just don't answer.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be the culture that I build through my posts, but I'm not a negative person. When I message people, I'm never salesy. I never get negative feedback ever. Nothing that ever gets to me. I may have one girl say I'm not interested in losing weight, and I'll be like, interested in losing weight? Are you kidding me? This is about health. And then I just like read a little personal development before I answer, or take a break and take a nap.
It makes me feel better that you do that many follow-ups, because I've been doing that with people too, because they've said yes and then they just disappear. And I just look back at some of my messages and I have like 9 messages in there from them to them and no responses.
God, never stop following up with those people. Those are the people who come back and say yes, especially the ones who were interested at one point. I get like a butterfly in my stomach every time I come in my messages and I go through somebody who said yes before but haven't answered me. I'm like, yes, perfect opportunity. So just don't, I would say, I mean, I'm sure some coaches would disagree with me, but I'm all about the follow-ups. That's where I get everybody.
I think that's, they say yes, but then like nothing happens. You're like, where's the purchase?
Yeah.
So I helped about 14 people this month, and 11 of them were from my high school, and and they were all follow-ups. It was crazy. So I have a list on my spreadsheet of everybody who bought a challenge pack for me last month. And it was like all girls from my high school that like either were like in a different friend group that I was too nervous to invite, and then I eventually invited them, or I followed up with for so long. And a lot of them, it just took one post for them to be like, I'm in. So stay wide on your range of posts, making a list of your objections when you started, and then Monday you're going to post about this objection. Thursday you're going to post about this objection, or just
Objection is a really good idea.
Bonnie Youngle taught me that we just can't always continuously post about our food and our healthy eating. We have to do a wide range of posting in order for people to connect with you. Because then they just start to envy you, and you really want that connection that they can build.
Cool. All right.
I'm feeling in sick tomorrow, so I can do this stuff.
I know, it's almost 10 o'clock. We can talk all day
My
about
bedtime's 8 o'clock.
Oh, shit. We kept you up. All right, now we have to go actually do it. All right, well, this was an awesome call. I recorded it, so I'll send it to you guys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Thanks for getting on, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
We started Monday strong.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll see you guys later.
Alrighty. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Toodles.
Like nobody, we don't want to get off.
Say bye.
I'm not leaving.
Oh, you end it.
Everyone else jumped off quick.